Yo, what's going on YouTube? I'm Nick, back again for another video. In today's video, I'm going to be going over my level 60 talents, all the way through to level 70, the build that I'm going to be playing in dungeons at level 70, my consumables that I'm going to be using for leveling, my enchants, my gems, some bonus items, and an add-on I really recommend having. Okay, to start us off, this is the level 60 build that I'm going to be playing. It has a lot of self-sustain and just a lot of AoE damage, just to make it super easy. We're not playing Annihilator purely for the fact that I don't want to run Storm of Swords, because I want to be able to spam Whirlwind to tag a bunch of mobs at a time, and then just AoE them all down. Some of the notable talents in our tree include our Avatar and our Berserker's Torment. We're running Reckless Abandon, so we get Empowered, Bloodthirst, and Raging Blows. We have Odin's Fury. We also have Impending Victory and Second Wind to really give ourselves a lot of self-sustain. For mobility, we have Heroic Leap, Bounding Stride, Double Time, and War Machine. The PvP talents I'll be running will be Warbringer, which is a charge, which when you charge, it does a big frontal AoE, so it's just free damage. Barbarian, which is essentially double leap within 3 seconds of using your first one. And then Battle Trance, which causes you to regenerate health and generate rage when you use Raging Blow twice on the same target. So I might be leveling with War Mode on. I'm not sure if I'll turn it on right at the start, but I might turn it on a little bit in. Depends if I have a group or not, so then it's a little bit safer. Alright, so we're here on the beta. So the next points in order that you're going to be allocating is we're going to be putting our second point into Wild Strikes, then into Thunderous Roar, then Thunderous Words. Then we're going to fill in this Barbaric Training and this Cruel Strikes. Then on the Fury side, we're going to be getting Titanic Rage. Then we're going to be getting 2 stacks of Critical Thinking, 1 stack of Ravager, and 1 stack of Hurricane. The reason why we're going to get these talents is because all of the cooldowns then align perfectly with our Avatar being a 1 minute 30, Dragon's Thunderous Roar is a 1 minute 30, our Recklessness is a 1 minute 30, and so is our Ravager. And then our Odin's Fury is a 45 seconds, so we can get 2 uses in to every 1 use of all of our other cooldowns. So the build that we're going to be running in dungeons is going to be very similar to this, so we're going to swap over to it now. So pretty much all that's changing from the leveling build to the dungeon build is that we're kind of getting rid of a lot of this sort of self-survival, because you're going to have a healer in the group, which then allows you to pick up a bit more damage in certain spots. So when playing this build, it's pretty simple. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to make a macro for your Recklessness, Avatar, and Thunderous Roar all in one button. And to play it is pretty simple. You're just going to throw your Ravager in first, which you can use a at cursor macro for Ravager. So when you click on the ground, it'll place it where your mouse cursor is. So if we just go like this, it just automatically throws it at my mouse cursor. So then you can charge in and then pop your other macro, which has all your cooldowns in one. And then you can just go about doing your usual AoE rotation. So it's really, really simple, but should be a lot of damage. So now that's talents out of the way, we're going to look at our consumables. So in our bag here, I have them laid out nicely for us. We're going to be using Fried Bonefish, which gives us movement speed after we've killed enemies. It's pretty good. We're going to use Healing Potions, very standard. We're going to be using Gumshoes to help us jet between quests that are a bit far apart. We're going to use Goblin Gliders. You're only going to need these at the start of Dragonflight until you get your dragon, because you're just going to be able to dragon glide everywhere. Then we've got Spectral Flask of Powers, which are just the usual flasks that we've been using right now, because the new flasks are going to be pretty expensive early on. So you might as well have some extra stats. Why not, right? We're going to have Drums, because I can't lust myself, so I want to have lust. So I'm just going to pop these whenever I'm out fighting like an elite or a big rare. We have Sharpening Stones and Shaded Weight Stones, depending on what weapon type you use. Since I use an axe and a mace, I have to use both, so I have to take up 2 slots in my bag, a bit of a pain. For enchants, I'm just going to be running my usual enchants, whatever I have on at the moment. So my Shaded Hearthing, my primary stats, my whichever stat you choose, my strength on my gloves. But on your cloak, you want to run the 20 stamina and minus speed increase enchant. For gems, you want to run a straddling dual doublet. This is assuming that you have a lot of sockets on your gear. Ideally by now you should have all your slots filled out with sockets, or at least most of them, so you can run one of these gems, which makes it so that every other socket you have with a Shadowlands gem in it, you'll get 13 speed. So as you can see, I have one in my neck, and then I have one in my belt, and then my 2 rings, and then you're going to want to have one of these gems, the straddling sage agate, which is 19 speed, which is more than you'd get for having a normal Shadowlands gem, so we use that one, and a straddling viridium in one of your sockets, which gives 28 speed, which I have in my helmet, and then I have the 19 speed in my wrists. You're also going to want to put on any gear that you have with tertiary stats of speed. So I only have pants right now, which is kind of sad. I got kind of scammed like this whole patch for getting tertiary statted gear. But if you have more pieces, might as well. And also, if you have pieces that are like lower upgrade level, just spend your Valor and upgrade them now, because you might as well. What are you going to really use your Valor on? There's nothing really to buy from the Valor vendor that's worth it, and you can't even buy like gear boxes for your alts. So that's a bit painful. Some bonus items that I would recommend you getting as well would be the Battle Standard of Coordination. There's also the 2 other ones which give 10 and 5% XP respectively, but I don't really like having to deal with having that many banners in my bag, so I'm just going to pop this one down, just off cooldown pretty much in bonus objective zones or high density zones. I'm going to be probably running Darkmoon Fire Waters if I pick up Herbalism and Mining, just to gather the nodes a lot faster than it would be without it. Then I'm probably going to use this checkered flag as well. It has limited charges, 50 charges from the Darkmoon Fair. It does stack with dragon riding, I believe. Some more tips would be to make sure your bag does not look like mine going into Dragonflight. I'm going to be clearing out this bag probably the day before. You want to delete vendor, whatever you want to do with the gear. Get rid of it, empty your bag, make sure it's nice and empty. Only keep the consumables that you're going to be. You're also going to want to put on all your highest item level pieces, especially the pieces maybe that you might have over your legendary slots. Like for me, I had a belt and a cloak, but they're only 291 and I have 304 belt and cloak, so I'm putting on these instead just for the extra stats, because these legendary powers do not work anymore, so there's no point in using them. Also, don't forget to clear out your region bag, and definitely come and get this region bag from the pre-patch event before it goes away, because starting out the expansion with another free 20 slots just for like miscellaneous meats and cloths and all that stuff to go into is going to save a lot of bag space. You also want to make sure you clear your quest log. Make sure your quest log is super empty, unless you're doing some of those strats where you have quests that are like easy completes or like auto completes on the day of the expansion coming out, just to get that little bit of extra XP. But that's kind of try hard in my opinion, and unless you're going for like a world first pace, it's kind of pointless. Now, I want to recommend an add-on that I feel like most people should get. It's called Leatrix Plus. Everybody's probably got this by now. It's been around for quite a few expansions at this point. It allows you to just automate your quests, which saves you a lot of time. It'll like just give you gold, but if it's a quest that won't give you gold and gives you an item, you just have to click the item that you want. That's pretty simple. It also gives you the ability to have a max camera zoom, which I really find super helpful. So you get this like super big zoom out. I like it. It makes it so you can see a lot more of the screen. You get faster auto loot, which is when you're like looting an item off the ground, instead of the window popping up and then having to and then it looting from there, it'll just skip that animation to make it a lot more fast. But faster movie skip, which sometimes works, sometimes doesn't. I believe there is another add-on out there that you can get that'll like 100% skip all the cutscenes, but you can turn this off if you want to watch the cutscenes for your first playthrough as well. So that's going to be everything for today's videos, guys. Please leave a like and a comment down below. Let me know what you think about this leveling build and if you'll be trying it out. I think it's going to be pretty smooth sailing all the way through. I also want to give a big thank you to everybody that's subscribed in the last couple of weeks. It really means a lot. And I hope to see you on my Twitch at the start of Dragonflight. Catch you later. Peace.